Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. In this video, I will be sharing with you a gift idea for your non-crafty friends. So we will be turning this into this. So you can see you're still adding your personal touches. We're doing a book plate. We'll do a few other things that I will go through. I picked this up from Kmart and I think it was $3 each. So it's quite inexpensive. And it looks beautiful once we add our own little touches to it. So everybody needs some type of a notebook. Everyone uses some type of a notebook. So this can be a gift for males, females, even kids. And with this sort of thing, you won't be getting those questions such as, but what do I do with it? And what is this thing? As we do sometimes with our junk journals. All right, let's get started. So the first thing you need is some type of a notebook. It doesn't have to be this one. It can be any type, any notebook. And this one actually, it's not hardcover, soft cover, and maybe a pen. So you can get these from Amazon. And I particularly like these ones with the diamond tip. And I know people get them from Amazon. I got mine from Kmart. They were $3 Australian, as I said, but you can get them cheaper online. So we've got the notebook and we've got the pen, and now we want to make it look pretty. So the first thing that I do, I want to make a little book plate. So I'm just going to layer some pieces of, this is cardstock and then scrapbook paper, and then something on top. So I use my stamp that says journal, and now I'm going to add that in the middle there. And that already personalizes a little bit. So if you don't have a stamp that says journal, that's okay. You can print out the word on your computer, or you can simply leave it blank like this, and they can put in 2021 or their name or planner, diary, whatever, so they can personalize it themselves. But I'm using journal. And now I'm just going to try and make this book plate look as attractive as I possibly can. So what I'm thinking of doing is, here I'm inking the edges. So that looks quite cool. And now when I layer it, so I have this piece which is smaller than this piece. So I'm doing a sort of a layering thing happening over here. I tried to use colors that kind of go together. And now I think I'm going to maybe decorate these edges a little bit. So I happen to have this really pretty corner punch, but if you don't have something like this, you can simply do something else with your corners. So you can maybe just cut them straight like this, and that will give it a nice look. But I'm doing this piece, but I'm just demonstrating. You can do maybe a rounded corner just like that. That looks quite nice. So it doesn't really matter. If you don't have any punches, you use whatever you have. This is just to get your, to get you inspired. So I'm just going to do this with mine. All right, here we go. So I just punched out those corners, and now I'm going to sort of ink everything, because you have these white edges, and I think inking it, even though like with this color you can't even see that I've inked it, but it still seals those white edges. And I'm going to ink this one a little bit as well. And here we go. So the sizes don't matter. I'm not going to give you, the size of this, because all of your notebooks are different. You might think that this book plate is too big for this book, or you might want to have a bigger one or a smaller one. So it's really, you use your creativity. But I think the point is layering. I think, you have this piece and then this piece and then something on top. See, even if it's blank. So even if it's blank like this, it still looks quite nice and gives the recipient the option to personalize their little book. All right, so now all I'm going to do is glue these together. So I'm going to glue these three together, and then I will glue the whole thing on my journal. So I'm just going to use a little bit of a glue stick, but the glue stick is just because I like to use two different glues, but the glue stick alone wouldn't actually hold this piece down on the journal. So you definitely need a stronger glue, and I'm using Boyle's glue, or Boyle, I should say. Craft glue, PVA glue, white glue, anything that you have will work apart from the glue stick. And just glue that on. So I'm just making sure everything is nice and centered. And I'm going to glue this one. So the reason why I do like to add the glue stick is because with the glue stick I can cover the whole area, whereas with my other glue that I was using, the glue kind of comes out in lines, if that makes sense. So I don't know, I just like to do both. It can't hurt. All right. And now I want to glue that on the cover of my journal. So maybe I can, I'm just checking, do I want it all the way up here? Of course not. Do I want it in the middle? Of course not. So I will put it here, just approximately, want it centered kind of, And I'm just going in with this glue. I'm not even bothering with the glue stick now because this is kind of like some sort of a vinyl or something. The glue stick isn't going to do anything there. So I'm just applying my glue over here. This glue that I'm using is kind of like the Fabri-Tac in the US. Here in Australia, I get it from Bunnings, if anyone's interested. That's about right. And now we've already personalized the journal. And I'm just making sure here that there's no glue seepage. And I'm pressing it down because I want that glue to hold. So while I'm doing my next step, I am going to pop this under something heavy just for a little bit, just to make sure that this is glued down, because we don't want that sort of peeling off. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is add one of these. I have a tutorial on these, and basically what they are is leaves and flowers, dried flowers that I've made into little tags. So this can serve as a bookmark. So for example, here you're giving a journal and it would look nice to give a little bookmark. I have a tutorial on this. I will link it down below. I mean, look at this. I mean, right? It just looks so beautiful. And this, look. Just some pressed flowers that I ran through my laminator, added little sentiments. These little sentiments. I also have a file that's free that you can download. I'll link it down below as well. So now I'm just going to choose one of these, and I think I'm going to go with this one because I think it's really beautiful. And I mean, you can add whatever you think will look really nice here, but all I'm doing is adding one of these laminated little bookmark, which I think goes quite well with a journal, if that makes sense. So it's all related. You have your journal, you have your pen, and a bookmark. Okay, and then you can add whatever else you think will look nice. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to package this up and then add the final little touches. I happen to have some of this beautiful cellophane. It's got this gold print on it, which is quite beautiful. But at first I wanted to use these little bags. And I think this would actually save you time in, packaging and stuff, especially if you have quite a few like I did. The only problem is you need to have a size that's, it has to be kind of perfect. So if I was just doing these two, it would be okay. See, that looks already so beautiful, I think. But I can't fit, I can fit the pen in there, but it kind of bends the journal a little bit, which I don't like. So that's why I'm using this instead. So I just want to cut this to size so I can wrap it up. Alright, so you guys most likely know how to wrap a present, but since I'm doing a video, I might as well do everything on camera. So I'm just going to speed this process up. Before I seal the other side, I just want to make sure that all of these things are kind of, sitting on an angle because I want everything to be peeking out. So I just made sure that that's all the way that I like it. All right, here we go. So now I want to add a little bit of ribbon. So I've just got this beautiful sheer gold ribbon that I'm going to wrap around. And I think, the packaging and the way that the gift is wrapped and the materials you used is half the experience. So a beautifully packaged present, regardless of what's inside, I think, what am I trying to say, kind of leaves a lasting impression, I guess. Okay, I'm going to show you how I tie a bow, because when you tie a bow, you want the ends to be down, both of them down here. You don't want one going that way and the other one going that way. Usually, I would tie a bow like this. Okay, and now I have, this isn't bad. It's not bad at all, but I have one of these going up that way and the other one's going this way. I want them both kind of coming down this way. So what I've learned is that I make a loop here, and then instead of going this way, I go under, okay, under, and then through. Let's see if it works. It doesn't every time, but okay, it kind of worked. I might need to trim this down, so I'll just do it again. So I've got my loop here. I don't know even if you can see this. So I'll go under, and then through. It probably doesn't even make sense and I'm wasting time, but there you go. That's how I tie a bow. And I have one longer end, so I just want to trim that down a little bit. This one's not looking very nice, so there we go. That looks so nice. For my final touch, I want to add a little tag. I just have this tag with, and I stamped down here, I use my Christmas stamp that says Merry and Bright. Or you can write a personal note here, a person's name or whatnot. And now I'm just using a little bit of this twine. So as you've noticed, I'm not using the traditional Christmas colors, the red and green. And, you know, it doesn't have to be traditional Christmas colors. It can be whatever you want it to be. Or it can be traditional Christmas colors. You use whatever you have. I just thought I was kind of going for a nice, elegant kind of look, you know. And I mean, not that red and green isn't, but anyway, I really like this kind of contrast with a little bit of black here. And we've got the gold going throughout and then a little stamp down here. I don't know, I just think that looks beautiful. And when you're looking through this, you can see the tag here, you can see the layers over here, you can see this over here, you can see the book plate over here, this over here. So it looks very rich. You can see all the beautiful layers. And look at this, look how many are made. And they all are the same. They all have different type of the laminated card inside. So they all are the same, but slightly different. You can see here. I mean, I just love it. I think it looks so beautiful, especially when you've got quite a few to look at like this. Looks like so much fun and really quite inexpensive. You're still staying within your love of journals and making journals, but you are gifting something that everyone can appreciate. So as I've said before, with our junk journals, we often get questions like, what is this thing, and but how do I use it? Or it's too beautiful, I don't want to use it. And we want people to use things that we've gifted them. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully I have inspired you in some way. You don't have to do this particular thing, but it's just something to have a sort of think about. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.